I think Lizzo is a government plant. I really do.
Probably.
I really do.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, okay, so this whole like I'm not even gonna touch on like the way that the culture is moving to do the whole because I don't care. I don't care about it at all. I really don't care. I think it's hilarious that people are getting so offended over the fact that people are like, "Oh, how could you ever say something about our queen Lizzo like that?" I'm like, her music isn't that good. So let me just start with that. But
I think people are using the idea that she's being fat shamed as an excuse to defend her. And I think that's really stupid because a lot of people don't care about her music, and I think people have openly put out that they don't care about her
that's
music.
what
A
I'm
lot of them
saying.
are just like, "You go, girl. You go out there and you show these men, you show these Republicans that your body does not matter." Like, it's so stupid.
I mean, look, if it was if the discussion was about her music, then that would be so different. That would be so unbelievably different. If it was like whether or not A, Lizzo was a good artist or B, Lizzo was not a good artist, that would be so different other than is Lizzo beautiful or not. Personally, I'm not attracted to her, so I'm not just gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, Lizzo. No, I'm not gonna no, I'm not gonna that's not what I'm
The I don't understand why the bodies of these artists are coming into effect so much, other than their music. I think just controversy is what's building. Like, even like Billie Eilish, like she did that whole tank top reveal
yeah, yeah, yeah,
on
yeah, yeah,
her
yeah. That concert.
on her concert, and people were like freaking out. They were like, "Yes, Billy, you show these men." And I remember all the crap that like the news anchors were giving and news feeds were giving the first week Billy turned 18, because they were like, "Oh, all these disgusting perverts are out here, blah blah
Okay,
blah
well,
blah."
yeah, that's valid.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
100% valid. If you're
you
gonna,
know,
don't you dare even for a second say newscasters were giving people who were waiting for Billie Eilish to turn
to turn
18.
eighteen.
Don't even go there. This is so different. This is so different. I'm talking about the whole Megan Trainor debate, the whole Lizzo debate, where it's like the question shouldn't be whether or not the person is beautiful. It should be whether or not their music is any good or
Is
not.
good. Yeah, I
Because like
mean,
if it's
obviously.
kinda cool, it's cool that people get famous, right? It's cool that Lizzo is famous now, right? She does whatever she wants. It's not cool if she gets diabetes.
It's really not. The whole fat shaming thing. There's a difference between fat shaming and there's a difference between just, being like,
Concern.
dude, I don't think that stuff's attractive. Like, I'm not gonna openly go out and tell an obese person that, oh, dude, you're ugly or something like that, because people find many things attractive in the world. But I'm definitely gonna be like, hey, you need to stop eating like that before you go into a hospital
I mean,
and your like feet have to get cut off.
so I'm not trying to like get too personal, but I know that you're super open about this. You used to weigh a lot.
Yeah, I was like 250 pounds.
You
I
used
was
to
a
weigh a
heavy
lot.
boy. I was
And
a heavy
you
boy.
worked away your weight. So I think that of all people like that have authority over what it is that like to say whatever you want about that kind of like area of your life, I think that you are a person who is allowed to talk about this kind of a thing because it's like you recognize that your health was failing
Terribly. I'm
because
talking about my family has a long list of like heart conditions and like diabetes and things like that and high blood pressure, and I was already like halfway there. So I was not planning on dying, and I don't think anybody
this was
that is
before you graduated your senior
yeah, yeah,
year.
yeah, yeah.
Like
This was
that we're not
before
even
like
talking about like yeah, I was 30 years old and I just kind of felt like I was gonna die in 2 years or something. No, you're talking like 18 years old. You feel like
yeah,
you're already gonna have a heart attack before you leave high school.
it
You
was
can feel
terrible.
you can feel the cholesterol dripping from your eyebrows. Like
I'm talking about, bro, I was in the parking lot having 2 Chick-fil-A large fries and a large milkshake by myself, and just looking at myself like, wow, there's like a fry inside my shirt. What the heck is this? It's crazy. It was
So I
kind
mean,
of crazy.
but like I was saying, to get back to the original topic, it's like you can see both sides of the debate now because one, you're a man, right? You're a man.
Yeah,
See
exactly.
what the attractiveness about Lizzo is. Like
Mhm.
I personally don't care. I don't care. But I was just reading on Twitter, uh there was this picture of Lizzo next to do you remember that episode where of SpongeBob where Sandy turns into like this like gargantuan
Yeah,
creature?
yeah, 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 yeah.
There was a
Uh-huh.
picture of Lizzo like laying on her bed like that, and then they put Sandy next to it with that looks like all gargantuan in her tight little like pink dress. And people were like, why do men find it okay to like talk about this woman that way? And it's like, yeah, it's not okay. It's
No, no, no.
it's not okay. I don't know, and that's not me like simping or anything for Lizzo. Gosh, absolutely not. If there's anybody that I'll simp for, it's Wawa. But other than that,
Hoagies.
Hoagie Fest,
Hoagies,
baby.
Hoagie Fest. Yeah,
Ho-
yeah, we are definitely on the Eastern Shore here, guys.
no,
Hoagies.
nah, bro. There's a you know this. There's a Wawa on every corner of the Parkway
Yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah,
interstate.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, but they're not, they don't bring the warmth that you get from an Eastern Shore wall.
The warmth of an
The
Eastern Shore
warmth.
Wawa.
The just greasy warmth of an Eastern Shore Wawa. Fun
See,
fact, Wawa is the only gas station that I know of that I've gotten in trouble for buying someone nicotine. They were like, "Hey, you just came in here with that boy that's like under the age of, I think it was still when it was still 18." He was like, "Yeah, you just came in with that boy that was under the age of 18 that just tried to buy cigarettes, and now you're buying cigarettes?" No, no. I was like, "Oh wow, Wawa, go simp and go crazy. You guys get my seal of approval. You are good people." That manager was trying to protect one kid from cigarettes.
it's every day. It's every time before we roll the intro that you say something so stupid that I just I don't know whether or not you should put that in. That's because that's illegal.
Well, it's fine. Now it's super illegal because now the legal age is 21.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So
All right.
congratulations on saying the second dumbest thing that you could have said on air. And let's go ahead and cue the intro. All right, guys, welcome back to the second episode of Life During Quarantine. I'm Sam, this is Abdullah, and we're just here to make your life a little better while you're stuck and trapped in the house. Um, yeah, so I don't know what you meant by warm and greasy with Wawa. I can't think
I
of
guess that's not a
any
good thing to talk about with the Lizzo conversation we just had.
warm and greasy fried Lizzo. Um, I
Oh
um
God.
I I mean I can't I there's no Wawa that isn't like covered in people that like are outside saying, "Listen, my mom and I are stuck here and we need money for gas. Can you
Oh
help
my
us?"
God. And you know what? I always get caught up in that because I'm a simp for people that are in need
Yeah,
and like
I
give
feel
me the puppy
well,
dog eyes.
yeah,
I'm
no,
like
I've
I'm
gotten
like,
scammed.
man,
I've gotten scammed before, and it was when I was younger, and it's like if
when you
somebody
first
comes
got
up
your
to me,
license.
yeah, when someone comes up to me and says like, "Hey man, I haven't eaten in like 2 days. Like I don't know who else to ask. Can you help me?" I'll be like, "Yeah, man, I'll get you something while I'm here." And if they're like, "Can you just give me money?" No. No, I can't
There-
just give you money. I'm
Money.
not gonna let you walk away and then go buy yourself like a cheap bottle of like Burnett's or something and get drunk on the side of the street. Like, yes, I know that will make your life go by a little
Yeah.
quicker, but I'm not trying to get you drunk on the side of the street in Salisbury, Maryland. Absolutely not.
recently at Food Lion here near us, what had started happening, and it would happen like at 11 o'clock at night, because one of my friends was telling me that this happened to her. This like old man would stand around like inside the store, and then he would come up to them and be like, hey, can you buy me this, this, and this? And it'd be small stuff, like bread, like meat, something stupid like
Yeah,
that.
but I mean, if it was just a guy who said like, "Hey, man, I kind of want, I need food for a week. All I want is some bread, meat, and cheese for sandwiches."
Well,
I'd be
here's the
like,
kicker.
absolutely. Here's some mayonnaise. Here's some mustard.
Right, right.
Here's some like nice bread. I'd get the guy food. Like it doesn't matter what kind of financial situation is. I know that I'm a lot more wealthy than a majority of people in the world, even though I'm a broke college student. I mean,
Yeah, no, that's 100% true. But like what the scary part was and what he started doing, and this is getting into something else, but what he was do is like when you would leave the store, he'd be like, "Oh, hey, if you come over to my car, I just need gas to get to like Hebron or something stupid like that." And then, they would try to get you to come over to their car, and you know where that would go.
yeah, that's
Um so
I
that
don't know
that
who
was
that was, but that's kind of ridiculous and
that was
absurd.
happening around that Food Lion, and I remember what Comical First Alert reported on it once in January, because that's when it was starting to get like high.
That like
But it
Facebook page that's like that Facebook page is so funny, dude. It's like every 3 seconds there's like a first responder alert that gets
there's every 3 seconds there's a fire. Like, you guys would be surprised with the amount of people that are inside of the house. You wouldn't expect this many collisions and fires to happen, but the rate at which fires are occurring right now in Salisbury is insane.
All I'm saying is just because you're deemed an essential worker doesn't make you smart. You're not
No,
like you're
definitely
just
not.
as stupid as you were before you decided that you were an essential employee. I'm just gonna put it out there. If they're a dumb
No,
like some guy like on my way home from work yesterday, some HVAC guy tried to run me off the road out of nowhere. I mean like actually tried to run me off the road. I was coming back from OC. I was on my way. I was passing Emmanuel Wesleyan, which is one of our local churches around here, right by Beagland Park, right?
right,
And
right, right.
like where you're coming back into Salisbury, and then there's that fork that goes off to Beagland Park, and the church is like right over here, and then it goes from 55 to 45, close to the Dove Point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which I
okay.
hate that speed limit sign, by the way.
Speed limits are a scam. Anyway, um, I was coming back. It was just before I started passing Emmanuel Wesleyan. Out of nowhere, I watched this HVAC guy like comes cruising like 70 miles an hour, trying to match me at 60 because I'm not going 55 in a 55. I'm going 65 in a 55. I just, especially when there's no speeding tickets right now.
Yeah,
Of
because
course,
no,
I'm
no,
going
no.
that fast. Anyway, um, the out of nowhere, the guy just like comes and just like gets like right up on me. I'm like, I look at him. I said, what in the world? Who are you? Where did you come from? So what did I do? I put it in sport and then shot 90 out of there. I was like, you asked for it. I should have braked.
There,
I should have let him hit me. I should have let him hit me. I should have
insurance right now would be terrible. Can you imagine trying to file an insurance claim right now? Oh my God.
I I wouldn't care. He deserved it. He deserved it, especially driving a company vehicle, trying to run somebody off the road. I don't care if it's a small business. I don't care if it's a sole proprietor LLC. You are not allowed to run somebody off the road no matter what. I don't care
You
how angry you are.
you would think it would get better with less Delaware drivers being allowed to come into Salisbury right now. But no, it's like Salisbury drivers were like, all right, well, we're going to have to take over for these Delaware drivers that have been, ruining our roads for years. Because I'm sorry, if you're from Delaware,
I don't know what it is with you. Every single time we get talking about the state, you just somehow manage to segue into Delaware.
Because it's just like it's right. It's like a lesion. It's just there. It doesn't support or allow anything to happen. It's just there. The only thing Delaware is useful for is to get to New Jersey and New York. That's all it's used.
I'm okay. I'm not gonna disagree with that because it's true. The only thing that Delaware is there for are tolls.
Yeah,
Delaware
literally.
is just an hour long like toll booth.
So stupid. The expressways are like the dumbest thing ever. And not the actual physical expressway, just the fact that it costs $2 to get on it and $2 to get off of it. That's like the dumbest
You
thing.
ever
What if they paid $2 to be on an expressway?
you ever driven through Wilmington?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's so scary. It's like Philadelphia. It's so scary over there. It's actually terrifying. It's like Skirvington. It's so scary in driving through Wilmington. It is a crack dungeon. It is so bad. I was driving through one day and I think I was going to a visit for Wilmington University or Wilmington College or whatever it's called. I don't know. It's probably Wilmington U. Anyway, I went over there just to see. They said it's a cheap and affordable college, kind of like expensive Warwick, and I was like, okay. And I went over there. It's expensive Warwick, and it's worse than Salisbury. And so I go over there, and then there is a guy who's leaning up against my car when I'm leaving. I'm thinking like, of all the vehicles,
Okay, man.
why is he leaning up against mine? So when I tell you I'm booking it, I'm not trying to talk to anybody. I book it, and I'm just like pull my car. Like I just open the door, slam it, get in, and then start the car. And the guy goes, and then walks away. I was like, you were the one who got scared. You were the one who got scared. You were leaning up against my car in Wilmington. Are you kidding? Come on.
Yeah, it definitely is scarier times now. With everything that's going on right now, everybody's like on high alert for everything. Even like people that you didn't think were like meth heads and crack heads, you're just kind of like,
It's gotten so much worse. I think like drugs have always been bad. I don't know. Something just isn't right. I think the opioids are getting a lot worse. Yeah, I mean,
people.
yeah, of course, it's one of the highest national debates right now with the opioid crisis. But I mean, it's
It's getting
everybody,
bad.
everybody. I mean, and right now there are doctors that are just kind of just prescribing it just because you said, "Oh, my knees hurt," and the doctor's like, "All right, opioid," because they get. I mean, there's payoffs from pharmaceutical companies for the amount of prescriptions that you sign for a certain medication for, a certain level of pain.
Opioids, Percocets. You remember I was on Percocets when I started working out because of my ankles, because of the amount of stress that my ankles were taking. So I was taking Percocets
What
because
are you talking about?
you remember how I was telling you all the fluids and stuff would build up in my ankles?
Yeah, from
So
your like
yeah,
elephantiasis or
so I
something. I don't
needed
remember what you said
like
it was.
yeah, I needed like major painkillers because when I was trying to run at that time, like my ankles would freaking kill me.
So you're telling me that you were running on clouds the whole time you were working
I was
out?
running on literal Percocets. But luckily now with me being at such a low weight, it's not that much of a problem. But man, moment I start hitting like 200, everything gets really bad.
Said, I'm here. I'm running.
It was so dumb, but it was the only reason I was able to actually do cardio, or I wouldn't be able to run.
What a
It would have
success
never
story.
worked.
What a
It would
success
have
story.
never
My
worked.
doctor prescribed me perk 30s and then all I could do was just run. That's
We'll
that's
talk.
so funny. That's so funny. That's probably if you are like if you're not joshing me and you're telling me that you honestly were on perks when you were
No, for real, for real. Honest to God, I was on Percocets.
could go on the bike for as long as you were. Are you kidding me? Because you didn't feel anything. You were just like chug, 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 chug. You could go for like 4 hours, and then you would do that thing where you would post your selfie of you sweating while you were
Yeah, what was that called? What did I put on there?
baby.
I forgot what I used to put on there. It was something. It was something stupid. I
Flow.
completely forgot. Oh yeah, flow. I would put flow on there. But we'll get into our complicated you
What does flow?
I
You
don't
still haven't explained. You just sweat and then you said flow.
like workout flow. That was my workout flow. You feel me? Once I sweat, like at least a puddle onto the ground.
A
Fun
river.
fact: Sam would come up to the bike and just be like, "Stop! What are you doing? Why?" And I'd be like, "What do you mean? You want me to stop sweating?"
No,
Like
I
that's
would come up to
disgusting.
you and you would be like drenched in like an inhuman amount of sweat. Like so much sweat you could probably fill a 12-gallon water bottle with it. And and then put it in somebody's like water tank that they like drink out of in like the office, you know what I mean? You used to sweat so much you could have filled in one of those. And I mean, I was just like, why? Why do you want to be that sweaty? But then you would brag about it on Snapchat. You'd have sweat dripping down your nose and you'd say,
Make sure the light hits the sweat so
show
you
your
can see
jawline. You'd show your bearded jawline.
my bearded jawline. Fun fact: I don't have a jaw. Once I gain to like, if I'm at 200 pounds, this is just like, eh.
When you were at 200 pounds, your face was round, dude. Now you're kind of getting that what's his name? Kuman Jahil. What's his name? What's his
Kuman
name?
Shahil.
Uh, let me see.
Yeah, because everyone used to say I used to look like freaking Nav, and I was like, ooh, dang, I look like who?
Yeah, Kumail Nanjiani. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know who he is, but I guess
He's
I'll throw him up in post.
he's I'm trying to think of Kumail Nanjiani. He's a comedy actor. Kumail.
Comedy act.
Uh, Let me see. Let's see what movies he was in. Because I mean, he's a funny guy. I mean, he's Pakistani American. Did I say Indian? Oh, sorry. Um, did you see The Big Sick?
No.
Did you see the?
The
Did you ever watch?
Big Sick? That
Yeah, it was.
was.
No, it was a really sad movie, kind of.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah, he's supposed to be in a Marvel movie soon, and then all of a sudden he went from like you know standard dad bod to like being. I don't know how they do it. I really don't understand. I They go from like super soldier serum is real. The stuff that they injected into Captain America.
Yeah. No, definitely because if I had that type of access to that type of physical appearance that quickly, because they have to do it within 8 months. Now,
Sometimes
do understand
you,
that a lot of the actors that were built at one point and then gained a whole bunch of weight because they weren't training anymore, they don't have to work as hard because not all of their muscle is gone. Most of it
well,
is just covered in fat again, and it just
yeah,
has to get. It happens a lot with Bollywood actors, and it was Athlean X is the YouTuber that I really watch. He makes really good workout videos. He did a whole segment on like the people, and if no one knows what Bollywood is, it's like Indian Hollywood. Um, he did a whole segment on how like Bollywood actors go from being like this overweight crap to like 3 or 4 months later they're like built ready for a new movie, and a lot of it is just like
a
the
lot of it's
food that
carbs.
they
Yeah,
yeah, a lot of it is
yeah.
just carbs. So
Because I
once
mean,
all that carb gets built like just burned out, they're fine.
because when you eat biryani, I mean, you eat a lot of rice. You eat a lot of rice.
Yeah, no,
What's the, what's
definitely.
what's the other what's the other what's that chicken that you used to bring with you to work?
It's just like chicken on rice, but it used to just be the biryani was chicken.
Okay, so the chicken biryani was what you used to bring with you to work.
Yeah, it's just a lot of carbs. Our diets
Yeah,
contain a lot of carbs, but also
I mean,
it
and for
contains like meat constantly.
so people who live as active as a lifestyle, say as you or I, carbs are important. Carbs are everything when you're working out a ton. When you're losing weight, cut the carbs. When you're
Yeah,
losing
which
weight,
like
cut the carbs. Like if hear from me first, hear from us first. If you are trying to lose weight, it's not fat. Fat doesn't make you fat. It's not like an over excessive amount of fast food and whatnot, because even though you can, yes, fast food will cause you to be extremely overweight if you eat too much fast food. It's the carbs. It's the sugar. It's the bread. It's the breading on all the chicken. It's the buns and all the hamburgers that you slam every single day. It's all the French fries that you're doing. And even though French fries, I mean, it's a starch, it's still considered like, like a basic carbohydrate.
yeah.
You need to make sure that when you are dieting, that you need to figure out the body type that you have and determine the level of carbs that you are able to eat, because it's super important that you're putting the right things into your body. But afterwards, it's really a question of whether or not you should be eating carbs at all, or whether or not you should be changing your diet to the point where it's like you should only be eating greens, or you should only be eating meat, or you should only be eating carbs. I don't know. Carbs are a danger though if you eat too much of them.
Carbs are definitely dangerous if you eat too much of them. I think it all depends on what your workout regimen is as well. If you are someone that is doing okay, so I'm going to go off of what I was doing. So I was doing at least an hour of cardio a day and then 2 hours of weightlifting. Now, most people are not going to follow that retarded regimen because it was stupid. It burned me out completely. And within like 2 or 3 months, I was probably getting close to like fainting constantly.
But I mean, what you have to consider is that you started this change during Ramadan.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Which was look, I admire all of you, all of our Pakistani friends. I mean,
15 more days.
if you can do if you can last through Ramadan, I mean, you're a superhuman, because I could not just not eat. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. But you decided, you had the first day of Ramadan, you felt amazing because you didn't put any stupid food in your body. And you were like, I think that was your breaking point, like your breakthrough moment. The day that you didn't drink a milkshake from Hershey or whatever it was. What was it? Toll House.
It was
Nestle.
Toll House at the time. Yeah, Toll House.
It's Hershey now, but it was Nestle then.
It used to be Nestle.
The first day you didn't drink a milkshake from Nestle, that's where you were like, oh, I actually feel really, really good right now. Let me just starve myself completely. And then even when you could eat after you were done fasting for the 24 hours, you didn't eat. You just didn't eat. You just started letting your body eat itself. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you are on meth. There's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
And then afterwards,
I was definitely really close to an eating disorder at that point. I was probably really, which again, I'm going to say I'm pretty mentally fit. So I have a consistency to not let that. Well, I'm mentally fit when it comes to eating disorders and things like that. I wasn't really worried about developing an eating disorder, but it definitely was something that at the time became very scary, because I realized that I had reduced myself, I think, to 1,500 calories a day. And then I was probably burning around 600 to 700 calories. So I was probably taking in 600 calories in a day.
No. I think you were probably burning around okay, standard daily caloric intake. Your output for somebody with my problem, for you, it was you were trying to lose weight. I'm not gonna say that you had it easier. To gain weight, because of how fast your metabolism is already, it's super hard to gain weight. It's super hard.
I know how that feels now. I lost 10 pounds.
Over the course of this past month and a half for me being on lockdown with the quarantine, I've lost 8 pounds. I've lost 8 pounds.
I was 160 is what I was happy with. And that's what I was okay with.
162. I'm back down to 152.
And I'm 148 now.
And look, I'm sure that a lot of it is probably water. I'm sure that a lot of it, while you're exercising, your muscles. I mean, muscle is what, 75% water anyway.
Yeah.
Something like that, some crazy number like that. And so if you are working out, you're drinking a lot of water, your body is trying to figure out where it's going to put that water. So it puts it in your arms and makes you look like a beef machine. So um but you I mean, keep in mind a standard day of calories for somebody around our weight class. Now that you're in the same weight class as me, you need to be eating like around 2,800 calories a day.
Yeah, that's just about what
I'm
it is.
probably eating like 200 calories a day and burning 2,000. Like you were doing something else. And there were days where you came to work and you were just dead. Just dead. You didn't say anything for like 2 hours at some point. And then you would come in and you just talk about how angry a certain female makes you, and it's just kind of like, oh my gosh, Abdullah, like you need to eat. And then you would come in and I'd be like, what did you bring for lunch? Or are you gonna go get food? And you said nah, and I would make you eat like a granola bar or something because I'm like, you're not gonna just not eat.
Yeah, or when I started doing the SlimFast, that was really, I think that was the tipping point. That was when I was benching and I almost like passed out mid bench. I was like, oh, no, 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 we're not going to do this
I thought
because,
you were going to die. I thought you
yeah,
were.
no.
Now look, you made it through. You made it through. You can honestly, like, now I think now's a good way to segue into shedding some light on the like stuff like Slim Fast. Slim Fast is horrible. Slim Fast is
Yeah,
horrible. If you are a person and you are trying to lose weight, do not, and I really got to stress the do and the not. Do not drink Slim Fast. Do not do it because you are going to develop a serious problem and you are going to seriously injure your stomach. You should not do anything that claims to help you lose weight in 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 1 month.
no, please don't, because you're going to kill yourself.
You are going to seriously harm yourself. You changing a standard diet that you have from a lot of calories to almost no calories is going to hurt you. I mean, it's like with Slim Fast though. Wasn't there a hunger suppressant in that?
Yeah, so what it is there's a 4-hour hunger suppressant. So what you're supposed to do, what the bottle tells you to do, is you're supposed to use it to replace one of your meals or two of your meals, depending on how you want to set it up. So they say use it to replace your smallest meals. So what it tells you to do is replace lunch or breakfast, one of the two, and then just have two regular meals throughout the day. That's fine. Over time, what it does is it represses hunger longer than you think. So
Look,
you're gonna think it's gonna be a 4-hour hunger repress.
if you're gonna eat breakfast, you're gonna eat some eggs, right? You're just
Yeah.
gonna eat some eggs for breakfast, and then instead of eating lunch, you drank one of those. That's fine. That's kind of like drinking a protein shake.
Yeah,
That's okay.
which is what I started doing at the later half. I think the last few months of when I was working out, that's what I started doing. Initially, what I started with and how the Slim Fast makes it look is I was just drinking those like for two different meals. So I was for lunch and for breakfast I was just drinking Slim Fast, and then I would have dinner because I didn't like going to bed hungry.
Yeah.
But think about that. They're only 150 calories a piece.
I think the max I would say was like that you were drinking one that was 280 calories. I would honestly think that the max 280 calories, because you can't just like conjure calories out of nowhere. You can't just it doesn't work like that. And yeah, you can obviously make like calories disappear from a standard level of behavior that entails.
The worst thing was with Slim Fast was that 200 calories. So that's an average Slim Fast has 200 calories in it. You get a box with an 8 count of them. I'm not gonna say they didn't taste good though. They definitely tasted really good. They have
Also,
definitely.
I think that's also part of the scam. I think that's also part of the scam, where it's like, they're are they sugar free?
Yes, you can get them sugar free. So
That's the problem too. If they're sugar free, then automatically you're gonna. So the problem with sugar supplements, like Equate, no, not Equate. Equate is that right?
Atkins.
Equal, Stevia,
Right.
Sweet and Low, Splenda, all of those things, all those artificial sugars, artificial sweeteners, excuse me, because they're not sugars. Um, what it does is it turns the receptor to process sugar off because your body doesn't think that it's eating sugar. So when you eat something so if you're drinking Diet Pepsi, right, and you eat a cookie after that, what you are doing is you're turning the receptor for the sugar that's going into your system from the cookie. You are turning that receptor off. So when that cookie enters your body doesn't think it has to process the sugar. And that's part of the reason why it's so much worse.
Yeah, because
when it
you'll
comes
end
to
up
it.
gaining more weight from it because your
Yeah.
body won't know how to process it anymore, which is why they say you should keep off of artificial sweeteners. So if you're someone that gets like Diet Coke all the time just because you're like, well, I'm trying to lose weight, so
It's
I'm gonna take some
it's
Diet Coke.
healthier. Soda is not healthy no matter which way you
Yeah,
look at it.
no,
Here,
no.
you can look at it sideways and it doesn't make it any healthier.
No, you can't sit out here and be like, oh, I'm gonna do this because it's healthier. Just like things like Halo Top ice cream tastes amazing. The amount of artificial sweetener in Halo Top though is insane. And with that, you also get regular sweetener. So they have 8 grams of regular sweetener, and then I'm pretty sure there's like 16 to 24 grams of the
No,
artificial.
because you don't need. I think it's probably opposite because you don't need nearly as much artificial sweetener to make it as sweet as.
Yeah, it might be the opposite. It might be that
Because
I haven't looked at a
I don't know
Halo
if
Top.
you've ever eaten anything with aspartame in it, like because that's what Equal is.
Right.
So diet sodas have aspartame. That's why they taste hollow. I don't know. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just that not sugar taste. Like when something is sugar free, that it's sugar free because it tastes so different. Um, the it's I'm pretty sure it's probably like 16 grams of sugar for one Halo Top container, and probably like half of that with the artificial sweetener because you don't need nearly as much. So it's really not even. It's not doing you any favors, a person who wants to have ice cream as a treat once a week or whatever if you're on a diet regimen, because you're putting the same amount of sugar in your body anyway that you would be doing if you were just going to eat regular ice cream. So cut the crap and just eat regular ice cream. You can find like Breyers or something. Breyers has like 4 ingredients. Breyers vanilla ice cream. It has guar gum in it now, which it didn't always, but it was just milk, sugar, vanilla, and cream. Like it was just that. And then
Literally.
they added the 5th ingredient. They added guar gum, so like a natural preservative or whatever. Breyers is all natural ice cream. Yes,
Yeah,
there's a sugar in it.
Yeah.
It's still a lot better for you than something that claims to be low calorie, that claims to have 0 sugar. Do not put that stuff in your body. It's awful for you. It's so terrible.
So 42% of the sugar that is in, or the artificial sugar that is in Halo Top is stevia.
But stevia isn't even like something that's sugar free though. Stevia is just all natural sugar.
It's all natural, but it's still technically not sugar.
All that saccharin stuff though, it's so bad for you. It's so terrible.
It's not good for you, and I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh well, yeah, this is better than that. Just eat regular ice cream if you really are going to, because having regular ice cream once a week, your body can't not process sugar. I think when people get into working out, they get this idea that if you start eating sugar or carbs or
That you're
anything
gonna
like that,
completely
you're just
ruin
gonna
all the
gain
progress that
weight
you've made. Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. You're just supposed to eat less than what you usually do and a little bit better. They always say that like 20 apples is better than 20 milkshakes. That's all I'm gonna say. Even though I'm pretty sure, is it grapes? Is that what they say? Eating like 20 grapes or something is like the same amount of sugar as eating like drinking a whole milkshake. It's something like that.
I don't know, but sugar is sugar. No matter which way you look at it, sugar is sugar. Yes.
Which that's the example. That's the example.
I mean, honestly, like you couldn't tell me that grapes are just as unhealthy for you as drinking a milkshake. Absolutely not. There's
No.
nobody is trying to tell you, as somebody who's trying to lose weight or trying to gain weight, as getting into the fitness lifestyle. Nobody is going to try and tell you that, like, yes, drinking a milkshake and eating 20 grapes are the same amount of sugar, so just do
No.
either of them. No, if you're going to choose one over the other, obviously choose the grapes.
Grapes. Now they might be the same in sugar output, but there's also other things that come into
There's
play.
a ton
Also,
of other
the
stuff that
sugar
comes into play.
inside grapes is just it's natural occurring sugar. All right, it's
Yes.
inside the fruit. There is fruit sugar is not bad.
Until you find me a cow that squeezes ice cream out its teats, then you're not going to try and tell me that there's natural sugar in ice cream. But
Yeah.
yeah, but ice cream, I mean, like, I used to when before I figured out that I was very, very, very intolerant to milk, when I was drinking that like 6 something protein shakes a day, when I was getting it from the Muscle Inc. down the road.
Yeah.
Um and I was getting the I think the cookies and cream one was the one that was awful. And no, no, I think the strawberry shortcake was the one that was awful. But the cookies
Yeah. It was the strawberry shortcake that you said your shortcake that
that
you said like
I couldn't
was
I couldn't
terrible.
drink. It was so awful. But there was sometimes where I would, instead of doing like 2 scoops of protein, I would do 1 scoop of protein and throw a milkshake from Cookout in the milkshake, or in the protein shake, and then I would just use the blender bottle and I would just shake it up and it would be just fine. I got just as many calories as I would if I was eating a meal, but there was just more sugar in it or whatever. But it's like I burned so many calories just sitting right now anyway, that it's just kind of like it doesn't matter. If
Yeah.
we're getting into this lifestyle, Abdullah and I have been in it for a year and some change, which everybody starts out as a baby. If you are trying to get into this lifestyle, you have any questions, feel free to ask us about it. But like, start off slow. Don't jump head first into the fitness lifestyle. It will kick your butt. You are not ready for it. If you are trying to break into a healthy amount of exercise and you're overweight, start with 30 minutes of cardio every day. Go outside and go for a run. Don't purchase a gym membership right away, because you're not
Yeah,
ready
no,
for
no, no.
that lifestyle. You're not ready for that lifestyle. Go for a run until you lose about like say you lose 5 pounds, say you lose 10 pounds. Congratulations, good for you, you just did that. Determine how ready you are to go to a gym and ride a bike, how ready you are to go run on a treadmill, how ready you are to go ahead and just go and lift a couple weights. If you think that you're ready for going to a gym, you're not. Start with stuff at home. Always start with stuff at home. And the most important thing that you can do, more important than exercise, is change your diet. Dieting will change your life. Not only because you're putting better in and getting better out, it's also because exercise and dieting are discipline. Any way that you can discipline yourself as an individual, I will encourage you to do that. When it becomes unhealthy, then you want to consider backing off. Like, if you are dieting and you say, I only want to eat 1,200 calories a day when I'm used to eating 3,000, and then you slowly but steadily start taking that away, you are going to be harming yourself more than you would be if you but before you started the diet. Yeah, either way, you're either going to starve yourself to death or you're going to eat to death, because there is a fine line in between what's healthy and what's unhealthy for you to do when you're adopting a new lifestyle. Discipline is everything. If you're going to diet, set limits, set maxes, and set yourself like a quartile percentage. If you got Q1 and you got Q3, and then there's your median. Your median should be the amount that you eat every single day. Your Q1 should be, the least amount that you eat every day, and your Q3 should be the max that you feel like you can eat every single day. Start small, then go bigger once you get out. I wish that somebody would have told me that when I was starting off too, because I just kind of went crazy and just started buying protein, started going to the gym every day. And then I realized that when I was going to the gym every single day, that I was actually burning more calories than I wanted to, because I was trying to gain weight. Even though I was smashing myself with protein, eating a stupid amount of like chicken and fish and beef, and then eating like a small amount of rice every day, and then eating a salad, I wasn't doing myself any good. I just kind of felt overweight while I was eating. And then once I got to the gym, I burned all of those calories away because I wasn't giving myself breaks in between, and I wasn't like limiting myself when I was eating. And it's just, I wish somebody would have given me that advice to begin with. Start slow. Start slow. Work your way up into being like a fitness guru. Like just start slow.
Yeah. Definitely. And do also keep in mind that the idea of a diet, that you're on a diet, is a very toxic idea. I think most people get on this belt where they're like, yeah, I'm going to be on a diet for 6 months, and then you're going to revert back into how you were eating before. How do you expect any change? Like, most of us, let's just be honest, they get on a diet, want it to be a permanent change. You want that weight to stay off permanently. You don't want it to come back. Who wants to go from 280 pounds back down to 150 and want to go back all the way up to 250? That is insanity, and that is terrible for your body. So when you're doing a diet, when you're picking out something, make it something that you can adapt so that you can do it permanently. Yeah, exactly. If you're doing this diet where you're like, yeah, I'm never going to eat sugar. So for 6 months, you're just like, no sugar, nothing like that. Keep in your mind that if you switch off of that and go back to eating the same amount of sugar that you were eating before, same amount of carbs that you were eating before, you're going to put that weight back on like this, especially if you're not maintaining it by going to the gym. Let's just go for those people that are just doing a diet, flat diet, no exercise, nothing like that. You're just dieting. Well, that's good. That's fine.
Dieting is the most important part. Dieting is part one.
Yeah. Just remember, it has to be a permanent change, because if you get off of it, everything is just going to go right back. And it's so debilitating to lose all that weight and then gain it back. I think that is the scariest thing for anybody that has lost weight, is gaining it all back. But you can't live by that fear either. You can't just not eat because of that fear. That's one thing that was affecting me. I was worried about all the weight coming back and me increasing in size again. You just have to take it one step at a time and be like, I've lost the weight. Now I got to build up a plan so I can maintain the weight loss. And
yeah,
go off of there.
I think though that we just gotta just keep in mind that dieting is step one. Dieting is step one. Start with food. You get good in, you get good out. And then what were you saying about gym memberships?
So what the way gym memberships are set up right now, you probably don't want to get yourself caught up because most gyms, how they have it set up is you are locked into a contract, whether it's 4 months, a year, 6 months. It's always something. They always have a catch to how long you're required to pay for your gym membership before it gets canceled. So
like
don't put yourself.
Fitness.
Yeah, like Pure Fitness has a 4-month window. I
can't believe you have to buy into a premium. I can't believe you have to buy into a premium.
It's dumb, but I mean, the gym isn't bad for someone that's consistent. Consistency is key. That's why people in prison are so big.
Yeah,
because they're so consistent. That's all they can do, is they're in their cell working, lifting all the time. That's all they can do. So because of that, they're consistent. They gain the muscle, and that's why some people can work out twice a week, and they'll probably never look like those people inside of that prison, because consistency is key. I'm sorry to tell you, 2 days of working out a week is gonna help you stay healthy, things like that.
Yeah,
but
and honestly,
if you're looking
I'm the
for
type
like
of person who can only go for like a half an hour a day.
Yeah.
And if I go like 3 times a week, that's perfect for me. And if you're looking, you said you're looking for muscle.
If you're looking for like muscle gain and things like that, then you definitely want to get a little bit of a higher regimen. Obviously, you want to be at the gym a little bit more often. And I think an hour to an hour and a half, if you're lifting heavy, you should burn yourself out within the hour. Within an hour, you should be.
We're gonna test those inbound effects every once in a while now.
Test those inbound effects.
If you're lifting heavy.
If you're lifting heavy, then obviously you're gonna burn yourself out faster, and you have to let go of the gym a little bit quicker than you or used to. So it's all things that you should keep in mind. It's definitely not easy either way, but consistency and discipline. Those are the two things that you need to focus on before you get a gym membership. Give yourself a goal. If you can constantly work out the same days at home inside of your house for the same amount of time for a month, then go get yourself a gym membership. Because if you can do that, then you're showing discipline. If you can't do that, then obviously you don't have any discipline, and that's just how.
All that encouragement just for it to end like, woo! You got no discipline. You're never gonna get there, and if you can't do it, you have no discipline. That was
discipline is really important. I mean, it's really hard. I know it's not easy to hear, but if you aren't disciplined, you're not going to be able to stick to a diet, and you're not going to be able to lose the weight in the first place. I think I have a really obsessive personality, and that's why I was able to like drop the weight that quickly, because I kind of got obsessed with going to the gym all the time, constantly. But building small discipline, it's not bad. It's not bad. Also, though, keep in mind, this does not mean that, if you can't go to the gym for 2 weeks, that you're going to like get fat. That's not also going to happen. I think a lot of people panic over that. That, now that I have a constant gym schedule, if I miss the gym like 2 or 3 times a week, I'm going to gain all that weight back. That's not how muscle works. It's not how weight works. It's not. That is
the main problem right now. The main problem right now, though, with quarantining, that people aren't necessarily going to the gym and whatnot, and forgetting that they that they can work out at home. The biggest thing right now, nobody's going to the gym because of Animal Crossing.
Yeah, because you can be on Animal Crossing and you can get away from all these stupid things that you're seeing in life right now. You don't got to worry about a mortgage. You don't got to worry about rent, a phone bill, nothing. You can just be on Animal Crossing.
All you got to do is just catch those fish and pay your bills,
Exactly. And just, run your town. As long as your town prospers, everything else will prosper with it. Animal Farm has had one of
Animal Crossing
or Animal Farm and Crossing. Oh my God. It's because you talked about that book yesterday and now it's stuck in my head.
Talking about how communism doesn't work.
Animal Crossing has had a decorated history, not only in the Nintendo library, but just in society in general. I'm pretty sure that was one of the first
What does that even mean?
Dude, it was like one of the first simulator-based games. I'm pretty sure it was one of the first simulation games on the NES, because it came out the first
NES. Hang on, let me look this up.
The first Animal Crossing came out on the Nintendo Entertainment System, I'm pretty sure. It came out a very long time ago.
We're going to look this up. Animal Crossing history, because I don't believe you.
I'm 100%.
It was released for the N64 in 2001.
Oh, it was the N64. Okay, well, it was something in the Nintendo Entertainment System.
That was on the last leg of of putting games out on the N64 before the GameCube came out.
Okay,
I'm sure there was Animal Crossing for the GameCube too, but I mean, like, N64. I mean, like, you got to think the NES was in the 70s or the 80s. The 80s.
I'm pretty sure it was the 80s.
Yeah. So it wasn't that. It was
you
so.
Talking about it. Let me check.
Yeah. So I mean, I think the crazy thing is how
1983.
Yeah. I think the widespread thing is right now, though, is how absolutely ridiculous Nintendo prices are. Nintendo pricing is so expensive, and
$300 plus. Now, of course, yes, PS4 and Xbox One are $300 as well. You have to actually they've gone down to 200, 250, and they've both so all of the platforms now. I don't know if Sony's done it yet, but Xbox has released a download only version of their Xbox, so it has no CD drive. It's $100 cheaper than the regular Xbox.
The Xbox X or whatever, the one that's like a tower.
The Xbox. Yeah, no. That's the new Xbox. That's the new one. The X is the new one. The new Slim device. Let me look it up.
Yeah, because I've never even heard of this. Because with the streaming, the cloud service, Xbox, the one with the Microsoft Cloud or whatever that's supposed to
Yeah,
be using.
yeah.
I don't think streaming is going to make any difference. I really don't. I think it's going to make gaming worse.
So here it is, the Xbox One S 1 TB all digital edition is what it's called. So it's just called the One S, like the regular One S that I have, but it's $100 cheaper than the regular One S just because it's an all digital edition console. So they saved a crap ton of money on that, which they saved money on putting in the CD drive. They saved money on having to have anything to read the games manually. It's so crazy that it's only $100 cheaper. Honestly, they could have sold that device for $150 and it would have still been making them a profit.
What was it called again?
Xbox One S all digital edition.
Xbox One S digital. That's crazy. That's
And
crazy to think about.
Nintendo is definitely milking everyone because of Nintendo exclusives. Nothing beats Nintendo exclusives. If Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo went at each other with just pure exclusives, everything would get destroyed by Smash Bros, Mario Kart,
Yeah,
Mario
like, you also gotta
anything.
think about like who would retain ownership over Call of Duty, who would retain ownership over games that are as huge right now like Fortnite and Warzone. Like it would make absolutely no sense for companies to go exclusive, but that's what they're all trying to do. Everybody's got a streaming platform now.
Most,
Everybody has
yeah.
got a streaming platform right now. So I mean, you got to think like Netflix and Amazon, they're rival streaming platforms along with Hulu and Disney Plus, and everybody is getting into the all-in-one bundle game. Like
Yeah, no, everybody.
Xfinity is getting into the phone, Wi-Fi, and cable world. Like
Xfinity needs to get away.
Xfinity has a wireless phone plan now. And so not only do they have cable, they have Wi-Fi, and they've got phone service, and that can all be incorporated into one bill. So that's what they're all trying to do with all their streaming platforms and whatnot. They're trying to get you to just buy into one solid streaming platform. Everybody's got a platform. Everybody's got a subscription service right now. And I mean, I don't know. Do you think that that subscription services are even close to like what your what is your Dish Network bill like right now?
Well, do remember we get international channels as well, so
Oh
ours is a
yeah.
little
Okay,
bit more
so
expensive. Ours is like $200.
$200 for. So I mean, how many streaming services would you have for it to get up to that $200 price point? And I mean, and think about it. You're paying $200 for every channel that you pay for. I mean, I don't know. Do you pay for HBO?
Yeah, yeah, we get all the American channels, and then we have the American Super Package or something. I
So you
forgot what
get the
it's called.
Stars Network and you get HBO.
Yeah,
It's
Sci-Fi, all of those, ABC. Yeah, all of them. We get
amazing that you
all
have
of
to
them.
pay for a channel. You would think that if you paid for HBO, there'd be no commercials.
That's the big thing now. No commercials. That's why streaming platforms are winning. That's why platforms like Netflix, Hulu, I just called Netflix a streaming platform. Well, you
No,
know
it is.
what? Whatever. They have
Yes.
like their
It's a
own.
streaming platform. It's not
Yeah,
DVDs anymore. It's all
yeah,
streaming.
yeah, yeah. It's
I
all
think we're
streaming.
cutting 2011 or 2012. I think 2012 once the Wii came out and everybody had a Wii in the house.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it
Netflix,
was.
Netflix, seriously, I will say this. Netflix broke into streaming when the Wii came out. I don't care. I don't think there would be any there's no contest in my mind that Nintendo is probably the reason for streaming to be the norm as it is, because Netflix, and a long while ago, Netflix had a huge library of things. I mean, every single show that you could possibly watch on Netflix, I think, was on the American VPN of Netflix when it was coming out. Um, but I'm wondering if, because now everybody in the world uses streaming services, I wonder if it's because because of everybody in the world having streaming services, why you need to have VPNs to watch what it is that you want. So take for example a television show like Doctor Who. I used to watch it a lot when I was a kid. You can't watch it in the States anymore on Netflix, but you can watch it in England on Netflix or the UK. So if I was to use a VPN and watch Netflix on a UK VPN, I would be able to watch like all of the BBC shows on Netflix. So Netflix has a huge, huge library,
Yeah.
all over the
I don't
world.
I don't think anyone really understands. And actually, this is the amount of control that certain companies, copyright wise, have. I'm just going to give you an example of an email I got today. It's a YouTube copyright claim for one of my old YouTube videos. And it's a claim by WWE for my review of SmackDown Wars or WWE 2K18. Because they put a copyright claim on it, I cannot post this video. It will not be allowed to be streamed in Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, that's a weird country, Nepal, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka.
Weird.
So that's kind of strange. It's strange that it's not allowed to be viewed in India, especially with how much of the market India is to the WWE. It is insane, but that's
like India
that's
is a huge market for
in
everything
general.
right now. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many people. I'm pretty sure it's like in that tiny little country, there's like a billion people that live there.
And it's crazy how they find ways.
It takes up like 10% of the world.
You remember when T Series was like about to beat PewDiePie in subscriber counts? Oh
And
my
all the subscriber bots and everything, and all of the
pure
and
India.
it's so funny. It was so funny the demographic between people who were who like there were a bunch of interviews that people went to India to ask like who are you supporting, T Series or PewDiePie? All of like the teenage boys, like everybody who was like all the young guys were all like, yeah, I mean I'm gonna subscribe to PewDiePie. He's an independent creator and he's been doing this for super long. And he's put in so much time and dedication into making his platform as big as it is now. And he worked very hard to achieve what he's achieved and get to the place that he is. T-Series is a company that has such a terrible reputation in India that I would never support it. And then like all the girls, all of the like men over age 30, all of the older folks, like all of the middle-aged folks, they were all saying T-Series, T-Series, T-Series. But it's crazy.
It's because brown girls love their music.
T-Series is like the Disney of India, though. It owns everything. It owns everything.
All of their music for the most part.
Movies too.
The thing with Bollywood movies are if you own the music, you own the movie. That's just how it is. Music is such a big part of their movies. There's always 3 or 4 music segments that last around 5 to 6 minutes in every single movie.
Yeah,
so
and I've watched a couple
half
of
an hour. Yeah, half an hour of an Indian movie, if you broke up those parts, could just be music. So
their VFX teams over there are getting crazy now, though.
Things are they're still filming like normal over there. The actors and actresses are allowed to. That's how parliamentary systems work. It's like just actresses and actors. Yeah, they're just allowed to be normal. They're doing their own thing. They're filming. I mean, they've secluded that this group of people doesn't have COVID, and we can just continue on with life and make the little people, our people that are working, doing normal stuff, we can make them deal with all of this. And that's how they're doing it. But that's depressing, just like
but I mean, it just also just goes to show. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. That was so crazy. That was so crazy. I don't know if anybody was on Twitter earlier today. I don't know if you follow Luke Skywalker on Twitter. Mark Hamill, the voice of the Joker in the old Batman cartoons, and also the Luke Skywalker.
Literally Luke Skywalker.
4 hours ago, he posted this video. If everybody remembers the Norman Rockwell painting of Thanksgiving dinner, or the
Which
family.
I'll put it up on Q or
Yeah,
on
okay.
post.
Yeah, so if you wanted to, put it in, we can do that. You can play the video if you want. Oh my gosh, how depressing and sad is that? Um, it's such the painting of Thanksgiving. Let me tell you what. This exact painting used to hang up in my grandparents' house that they built in, or that they own in the 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Like the house that my mom and my uncle grew up in, and the house that my grandparents moved out of in the like early 2000s, like 2004, 2005. They were there for like 30 years. Um, that painting used to hang up in my house. In their house. Like I lived there for a while too, because my parents, like newlyweds, we needed a place to stay. That painting used to hang up in that house. I used to see that painting everywhere. Um, that's a very depressing video. Norman Rockwell is a staple of American culture. I mean, he was one of the most talented illustrators in the world at the time. And for every, I think, was it Sunday Classic that he was publishing and painting for. I mean, a lot of his work is regarded as some of the best American illustration. That is a very, very depressing video. That
It
is a
is
very,
a
very
very
depressing
sad
video.
video.
I,
It's like oh, slowly people are dying, and you're just like, man, that's not the type of message you want to put out right now. Obviously, you want people to stay in their house,
I
and
just talked to
not be
somebody
focused on
yesterday. I
coming
just talked to
out.
somebody
Yeah.
yesterday who lives in Odessa in Delaware, who her uncle just died from the virus, and now her aunt has nobody. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Nobody is taking the social distancing seriously. We talked about this in
No,
the last
no,
episode, but
definitely.
it's crazy.
Um, but
60% of Americans aren't socially distanced. It's crazy to me. It's unbelievable.
it's and that's why I'm so glad we're kind of here on the Eastern Shore, because for the most part, everything has been taken care of to an extent.
Oh my
We
gosh!
are
Don't even get me started about the
mostly
parade. Don't
okay.
even get me started about that parade.
Yeah, no, that parade was really stupid.
So a
And
couple days ago, in Salisbury, I don't know if any of our local listeners know what was going on during that parade. Um, I don't really even know what the parade was for. I still don't even know what the parade was for and why there was still a parade. Now, Jake Day, our mayor of Salisbury, has made it very clear that if you do not have a note for your essential business travel, and if you get pulled over, you will be facing like criminal time for like endangerment of like reckless endangerment of humanity, like that kind of thing. Like you can serve jail time. He's made that very clear that if you get pulled over, that you are going to get in trouble if you don't have a note. Under what pretense? Under what pretense? All like 1,000 people got together. Salisbury has like 33 to 45,000 people in it, I think. I think the number in 2012 was 33,000 people. It's only gotten more. I don't know if you like over the past 10 years
probably
there have been
50, sixty
so
thousand.
many more cars on the road. Like the roads have become a disaster. I'm pretty sure it's no more than like 45,000 people. It's no more than that. There are way more cars on the road than there ever have been. Under what pretense? Under what authority? You said that if you get pulled over without note or notation of the fact that you are traveling for essential business purposes. I hate that. The essential worker, the essential business.
The
I hate that.
required
I
business.
hate that. Under what authority do you, as the mayor of Salisbury, Maryland, do you say you get pulled over, you can potentially get arrested for traveling and endangering people? You
And I
threw a
actually,
parade.
yeah.
You threw a parade, and like 1,000 people got together, and
Yeah, no, that was
all,
stupid. That
all
was
over your shoulder. Everybody is all close together. And first of all, having a parade during one of the most dangerous time periods in modern history. Like in the 21st century, this is probably one of the most dangerous times to be alive. This is crazy. 2020. I mean, we thought 2019 was going to be the year. It wasn't. We thought 2020 was going to fix everything. It's not. Let's go back to 2019. It's one of the most dangerous times to be an American. It's one of the most dangerous times to be alive. The epicenter of the world with the number of coronavirus cases.
Yeah, no, it's
in the United States. You said people are going to get arrested. Then you threw a parade. And then all of these stupid people who don't understand that you need to stay home and that you should not be shoulder to shoulder with people that you don't know. Nobody was distanced. Nobody was maintaining their 6 feet. He threw a parade, and then dumb people showed up.
And someone left a Facebook comment on one of his posts, she said, "So much for social distancing." And he replied, "Newsflash, your first responders don't have that luxury. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the parade and thank them for their service." So she replied, I'd rather not have a parade than risk lives, and I didn't see it or thank anyone that day because I was social distancing in my home, like we are supposed to be doing, as we are supposed to be doing. I thank them by donating medical supplies and thank them from a distance. Okay, well, this is what he replies. Okay, well, we appreciate the thousands that came to their front yards and waved. She said, hopefully we will have someone in the office next time that cares about the people and doesn't have a wife that gets locked up for buying drugs from students.
Whoa.
Which he replied, nah, it'll still be me, and I don't speak for any adults but myself. But nice try. Winky face emoji.
Ew. Oh my gosh, what a robot. Oh my gosh. Now that right there is a heavy hitter. That's a comment right there. I mean, the guy
he's so like conceited. It's so stupid.
I don't like Salisbury. You don't like Salisbury. Like that's no secret. I mean,
yeah,
I love
definitely.
everybody that I'm friends with around here.
We love our peoples.
We love our peoples. It's just the place. If we could pick you all up and move you a little somewhere else, we'll do it. Like
a little past Delaware. Just a little bit past Delaware.
Just a little further up north. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Upstate New York. Let's populate it. There's nobody up there.
Exactly. There's nobody.
It's beautiful up there. Let's build a city.
It's literally like the Eastern Shore. Okay, you can just go. No, it's not. But it's way better.
It's way prettier. Anyway, the one thing that makes Salisbury original, the one thing that makes Salisbury unique, the one part of the city of Salisbury that looks like a city, the one part of it that is just has so much history, has so much character. Like it doesn't operate very well anymore because it's on the outskirts of the highways. The one thing that makes this town original and unique, he's tearing to shreds. You don't need to do renovations on historical property. I'm just saying. You don't. If it's a danger to people, yes.
Like the schools, remaking the schools, that's a good thing.
Schools. Yes. But tearing up historical property of a city for renovations is horrible. It's awful. Why did every other mayor before you not touch it? What? I mean, you're the mayor. Your job is like what? To monitor how many speeding tickets get put out in the city of Salisbury? Like what? He's tearing apart historical property. Bryce's mom, Bryce's mom, her business was almost put to a standstill for months because
of that. Yeah.
Of her business was in shambles. You can't drive over a road that you can't drive on. And mind you, all of the parking spaces behind her building, if somebody was to park there and then go and then the sidewalk in front of her building was torn up. So all of the parking spaces behind the buildings though are all private. And so if you parked in one of them, you'd get a ticket. What are you supposed to do in that situation? Tell people to park in the library and then walk on the sidewalks all the way up to the building when there are no sidewalks
No,
to
it hurts. It hurts the privately owned business, and he shouldn't be doing that when there's places like the old Kmart building that's just sitting there still. It's empty. There's no business there.
I
Nothing.
mean,
It's just
yeah,
sitting
okay,
there empty. I'm
damage
worried about
control.
Macy's. Think
That's
about how long that building is just going to sit there.
I mean, they're planning on they've been planning on talking about putting like either like a Dave and Buster's in the Sears or putting a Cracker Barrel in the Macy's or putting it in where the J.C. Penney was. But I mean, it only took about
Dave
a
and Buster's would be great.
it
I
don't it
would
only
think
took it
that.
only took like a year for them to figure out what they were doing with the J.C. Penney property though.
Yeah, but Sears
Started
just hit its
construction
year.
and it took like 2 years.
Sears just hit its year a
Yeah,
couple of
that's
weeks ago.
right. That's right.
And
That's
they still haven't done anything other than just put a big tarp on it.
they're trying to I think they're trying to separate the building and make it a standalone building so that it has its own operational hours. But
Like the cancer
but
that is Boscov's.
yeah, he's got no control over what happens with the mall though. But I mean, look, Salisbury is supposed to be the hub of the Eastern Shore, and it's supposed to be an exciting place. This place, no matter what happens, any business that comes into Salisbury, like comes into Salisbury, elsewhere comes in, eventually dies. It eventually dies. It eventually dies. I don't know if it's the taxes. I don't know if it's how expensive the property is. I don't know if it's because of the market, how they just don't have an understanding of the types of people that live around here. I'll give you an understanding of the types of people around here. You have people who love the country, people who are thick and thin, like bleed red, white, and blue Americans, and then people who move from northern states because it's a lot less expensive to live in Maryland than it is here. Now, everything around here is very spread out. Everything is within 10 to 15 miles apart from each other. It's just the way that it is around here. If you have a gas tank, it'll be gone in 2 weeks or in a week. Like you can't hold on to a gas tank for 2 weeks around here.
If you have V6, it'll last you 3 days.
So that being said, there is room for improvement. And look, there's money for it. There is. There is money for it. But it's the fact that big businesses have seen the performance of other big businesses in Salisbury with the misunderstanding of the market. All of these businesses roll out. And I mean, yes, malls across America are being killed because of Amazon. Like that's one thing. And like that's a discussion for another day. We can talk about how Amazon is gonna like kill every mall in America. That's different. That's way different. That's so much
That's
just
100%
having a
different,
conversation of whether or not like there's anything to do with those properties that are out there. And that's just also like building management owners and everything. Like that's something completely different. And I think there's only like a handful of people that own like every building around here, and that's probably why the prices are fixed on rent and whatnot. But the mall's rent is crazy. The reason why
the mall rent is stupid.
why everybody goes out of business in the malls because they've refused to like break on the rent. I think they should figure out how much a company makes, then determine the price of the rent.
Which the problem is like the mall is owned by like a company called Brookfield Construction Corporation, something like that. They are a multi-billion-dollar company. I mean, they own malls in like Miami Beach. They own malls in the hills. They own malls everywhere. So it's not a small company.
No,
it's not like they
no,
can't
and
afford to bring down rent in the mall because
it's not like
it's
they can't
gonna hurt
afford to
them.
go and redo the floor, redo the paneling, and then put a second floor on the mall. It's not like, I mean, honestly, I can't believe that they're gonna let, you know, a mall in such a huge traveling district. Like people come through here from everywhere, Virginia to Delaware or New Jersey to Virginia. So I mean, but it's the thing that's crazy to me is it's not like this isn't like a huge travel district that you know people from everywhere are coming through. If you're going from Virginia to New Jersey or Virginia to go up to New York, I mean, Route 13 goes from all the way down south all the way, or is it 50? Is
50.
50 goes all the way from Florida all the way up to Vermont or Maine. Like it goes from the bottom all the
it
way to the
goes all the
top.
way over. Yeah,
13 goes
exactly.
all the way from Ocean City to California. I mean, this is a huge, huge route for people. If you stay on 13, I'm pretty sure it's like 2,000 miles from Ocean City to California. You can drive from Ocean City to California by staying on one highway. One highway. You can go from Florida to Maine in one highway. I mean, the way that they've districted highways is so that everything goes across and then everything goes up and down. And then they've made all the exits to figure out how to intersect all of them. But like, this is a very big travel district. I see plates from Ontario. I see plates from Connecticut. I see plates from the Carolinas. I see plates from Delaware. Oh, well, of course, Delaware. But I mean, Maryland plates, Jersey plates, New York plates. This is a huge, huge district for people that are traveling. If you want good business and good money to flow into a town, be lenient with the businesses that can't afford the rent in the Salisbury Mall. The center of Salisbury is not that important. I'm sorry. It's not. And there's 5 things to do around here, right? Well,
Yeah, literally.
three main things: to either spend your money, or spend your money. I mean, there's only 3 things to do.
Yeah,
And
it's
so,
not like we have the best parks or anything like that. So
oh, we
it's
got
not
no
like,
state
but don't.
parks.
Exactly. We got the zoo is terrible. I'm not even going to. The zoo is good for, if you're age 8 and
The
below.
zoo just
Yeah.
lost their accreditation.
They
The zoo
lost
just
what?
lost their accreditation because they had no zoologist and veterinarian on site. The zoo
Wow.
just lost their accreditation. Don't you think that's a city's responsibility to figure that out? That's
But
ridiculous.
we gotta
The,
make grades.
the zoo is gonna disappear soon. The zoo is gonna close. All of the animals are gonna get shipped out to Cincinnati and Baltimore, and they're gonna they're gonna they're gonna sell the animals. They're gonna sell the animals. Yeah, and so I mean they're gonna sell the animals from the Salisbury Zoo to other zoos in the country. I mean, I don't know how like zoos are how they work when it comes to like a business perspective of the zoo. But if the zoo is free,
Hmm.
if we're
Yeah, that
paying
is true.
taxes, if we're paying taxes for the zoo to be open,
That
where's
is
that money,
kind of strange.
where's that money gonna go? So when they sell the animals from the Salisbury Zoo and put it back, what are they gonna do? Where's all that money gonna go? Who's gonna get all that money? That's something I've really been thinking about that. How much does a bear cost? How much does an emu cost? And they're selling them to other zoos that probably just make a stupid amount of money. The Baltimore Zoo, you have to pay like what, $25 per person to go in there or something, $50 per person. I mean, that's a lot of money to go to a zoo, and it's a nice zoo. It's not paid for by the people. I don't think. I'm pretty sure it's not free. The National Zoo,
No, it's not.
pay to get in there, like the aquarium.
The National Zoo in Washington, D.C., the Smithsonian National Zoo is free. How they make their money is basically all the restaurants and stuff that they have actually physically
Right,
inside
right,
the
retail.
zoo. Because, I mean, it costs $4 to get a Gatorade in there, man. $4 to get a Gatorade.
And it probably costs you like $30 to get a T-shirt that says that you went to the zoo. I mean, that's just,
Exactly.
but that's good. That's good. Retail, like capitalism means that you can have a product that you own and set the price. And then if you are a zoo and you sold a T-shirt for $30, fine, sell the T-shirt for $30. Who
Right.
are we to care? Like if it supports the zoo. And if it supports the fact that there's going to be doctors and vets and people who are going to take care of the animals so that it's not an inhumane practice to have animals in the states where they don't belong in a zoo. But the Salisbury Zoo is nonprofit, it's free. And taxpayer money goes into that zoo.
Intimidating
Where
the zoo.
is the money going to go when they sell and auction the animals? What is going to happen with that money? That's going to be a stupid, stupid, stupid amount of money.
It's
But
gonna go into building that roundabout.
oh my gosh.
Let me
If
tell
that's
you
if that's where the
something.
money is going, if that's where the money is going, I would honestly would like to investigate what is going on with the money in the whole
That
county.
roundabout is the that
That
it's
is the
the
epitome of
dumbest
stupid.
thing. that is the dumbest thing they ever built, because I had an old lady merge into me yesterday because the yield sign is on both sides.
Yes.
Okay, so you have to like the person that's coming, if you're coming off the turn from the hospital, or if you're coming from the other side, you're literally it's a Y. Okay,
Let's
so it's
respect the two types of people that you were just driving. She was probably like a standard driver, like not a Salisbury driver, or the ones that are gonna be like, oh, go ahead, drive. I'm a Salisbury driver. No, you first. Like, fine. You're a jerk. You're a jerk. You're a jerk on the road. So if you're driving, you're just gonna go. If she was not a Salisbury driver and she just went too, then that's gonna cause a serious amount of problem. But I mean, the roundabout is the worst idea. I mean, and Waverly. You ever driven on Waverly with the bike lane or whatever that's like 10 feet long? I mean, the road on Waverly went from a standard like 10, 11 foot width of for vehicles to 7 feet. It legally has to be like 8 or 9 feet. And so this
it's
huge
so stupid.
bike lane with these big rubber bouncers in there for people who are merging, and they're gonna make the car go crazy on one side for the people who are riding the bikes. There are people who still ride their bikes in the middle of the road on Waverly because they don't care.
Oh my God, if you're going down to like West Nitsdale, oh, the old people that ride their bikes down that, please, for
Yeah.
the love of God, don't ride your bike down a turn. Please.
Nanticoke has a dedicated bike lane.
Yeah, literally go on Nanacoke and ride. It's not that far
Yeah,
far away.
it's got a
Why
dedicated
do you
bike
have to ride your bike on the back of Pemberton? You're going to get killed because somebody like me is going to come down that turn at 30, 40 miles per hour and not be able to move into the opposite
Yeah.
lane because that is a very tight turn.
Yeah.
And you're going to get struck off the bike. And now you have a problem because you're dead, and I have a problem because I have to pay for it.
So anybody who wants to reach out to us, because we're gonna cut soon.
Yeah.
Because we are going on a little too long. I think maybe sometimes we might be able to record and cut in the middle and then have a second episode that comes out on the same day, whatever. Like if that's what you guys want, go ahead and let us know about that. But for all of our listeners who are local, I'm sure all of you are right now. If there's anything that you want to discuss about Salisbury, or any of his towns in Wycomico County, if there's anything that you feel like is kind of fishy or anything that you just got with something that bothers you, because there's plenty of stuff that bothers us around here, leave a comment on the YouTube video. Go on anchor.fm/LDQ, and there is a place where you can leave a voice message, and we can include that in the show if you wanted that to happen too.
Yeah.
Or
definitely.
you decided you wanted to go ahead and you wanted to do a quick guest segment while you're on here, let us know. Leave a comment. We'll figure out how to get a hold of you if you have either one of us on Snapchat, you follow the page on Twitter, you follow us on YouTube. Let us know how we can get a hold of you, and we'll see if we can add you to a guest segment on the show. But yeah, there's plenty of stuff that goes on around here that's kind of whack. So there's going to be plenty of discussions for another day. Obviously, we try to keep it lighthearted and funny, but I mean today today was a bit of a more serious episode, and that's okay. That's going to happen too. But yeah, so if there's anything that you guys want to hear us talk about anyway, in general, go ahead, just let us know. It shouldn't be just the two of us figuring out whatever it is that we want to talk about. Especially got a listener.
Yeah.
So when expanding audiences, it's good to have crowd. What's the word?
Preferred topic.
No, I mean participation is the word that I want.
Yeah, of course.
If audience participation is something that we're super passionate about, and so if you wanted to go ahead and let us know about some topics that you wanted to see us talk about, or if you wanted to get in on a conversation, just let us know. We'd be happy to have you on the show, and we're really looking forward to seeing how fast we can get this to grow and where it'll take us in the end. It's just for fun, but if it takes us anywhere,
see how it goes.
So, any closing notes from you?
I'm just gonna say that stay safe, stay indoors.
Stay home, please. May 1st
stay away from Greasy LIZZO. And from me, that's it. So that's on God, baby girl. Stay home.
Right. Listen, May 1st, if you do not have to travel, it's coming up fast. It's in 15, 16 days. May 1st is not the time to go back to work if you don't have to. If you're still collecting unemployment, it's a very touchy topic to have to talk about, but May 1st is not going to be the time for everybody to go back to normal. Please don't. Please do not do it. Be safe, be careful, maintain the social distance practicing until there's an okay when they say the last case of coronavirus has been found and we're going to isolate it and we're going to make sure that this doesn't get out again. Viruses don't just disappear. So if you can be safe, please be safe because you can be safe. So just do us a favor. You know, we're doing it too. Stay home. Just stay home.
Indoors, guys.
It's not going to be forever. It's not going to be forever.
It's not.
So,
yeah.
all right. Thank you, folks, for tuning in. Abdullah, always a pleasure. Let's go ahead and start the next episode whenever we're ready to keep recording. And thank you, folks, for tuning in again. This has been Life During Quarantine, signing off for the night.
And that's on God.